I feel nauseous, believe me. Never had a lot of shit come easy. Had to work hard, struggle just to be me. Had to and what was left over I put towards my dreaming. But the only thing in life that has meaning are the things you gotta work for, believe me. Take into your hands a plan, your own hands can land your own brand. And damn, I feel like no one takes accountability. They want the credibility, convincingly unwilling to put in the hours it takes to get some power. Don't be f***ing sour, take a cold shower. Scream until you're louder, work until you're prouder. And f*** all the doubters, they're just your downers. I swear to God they all let me down. I always fought.
I can tell you that 7 years after Freddie Gray, that was 2015, spring, April, May. This is 2022. Communities like Sandtown, all we saw then and now in terms of investment was a renovated Western District Police Station and a new funeral home. That's what West Baltimore got. A new police station and a new funeral home. What kind of optics are they? Was Freddie Gray any different than 1968 Baltimore riots? Dr. King's passing, killing, murder? This is the same?
No, it wasn't. I mean, I think, well, first of all, people who are being violent and burning, that's, you know, all that's the same. But the point is what was the cause and what were they attempting to register?
I always fought just to wear the crown. I'm off at these fucking clowns.
I love you too,
They deserve an ounce. It's
got next.
It's only worth it if you work for it. I won't stop till they hear me now. I won't stop till I wear the crown. I swear to God they all let me down. I always fought just to wear the crown. I'm off at these fucking
First name's Doni, last name's Glover, in it to win it. For the long haul, baby, I hope that you are doing well. Got a new microphone here. All right, so we're on our way to New York City. We have the Joe Mann's Black Wall Street Awards going on today up in Harlem. Special thank you to all of the people in New York City who are helpful to our efforts there, including Miss Regina Smith, who is the past executive director of the Harlem Business Alliance, as well as the new director of the Harlem Business Alliance, Miss Monique Hector. Also, special thank you to Mr. Walter Edwards. Mr. Walter Edwards, we call him the Godfather of Harlem. You walk down 125th Street with Mr. Walter, everybody knows him. I hope you're doing well out there. It seemed like it was going to be another really, really warm day, but it seems as though it's going to be mild, but I think it just got about 7 degrees colder here in Baltimore. But nonetheless, I wanted to go through some of the news stories that are all around us. So the I-Team and other news outlets have been talking about this Baltimore Squeegee Collaborative. Now, this collaborative is to release recommendations next week. Baltimore Squeegee Collaborative wrapped up its work on creating a comprehensive approach to eradicating the problem across the city. Now, let me ask you this. When are they going to come up with this homeless collaborative? Because what we are dealing with here in Sandtown is no problem with squeegee kids. We have zero problems in West Baltimore with squeegee kids. Zero problems with squeegee kids. What we do have a problem with are the homeless transients chasing dope, crack, cocaine, who then want to go and move into a vacant. It was just a vacant house fire in the neighborhood just yesterday. One earlier this week, because it's getting colder. And as it gets colder, people who have been chasing dope instead of addressing their issues find themselves cold. It's one thing being homeless when the weather is mild. But when you're homeless, chasing dope, and then the weather gets cold, it's like, uh-oh. Like the little squirrel that didn't get ready for winter. No nuts, nothing stored up. No support. Another story in news. So that was the Baltimore Squeegee Collaborative. They actually, all the Karens in the world and got the mayor to have to form a Squeegee Collaborative. I wish somebody, and the problem I have with this is that the squeegee kids are black. The addicts in the community who do not match the majority demographic of West Baltimore and East Baltimore, nobody says a word about them. And they breaking law every day. It's stealing every day. Every day. Every day. You go to the dollar store on Pennsylvania Avenue. They've had some security problems, security guard issues. Sometimes they have a security guard. When they don't, they get wore out. And who's leading the way? These very same transient homeless addicts who do not match the majority demographic of Santan. That's the reality. So the news says record warmth for first weekend in November. So I believe that. It was turning warm today, but I think it's going to get a little cooler, or it got cooler. So what's happening in your world? We'd love to hear from you. Do reach out, send us a message. Many thank you to our sponsors, including Mr. Billy Murphy. While we plug in the Murphy Law Firm, let me tell you that Mr. Billy Murphy did do the forward to the book, I Am Black Wall Street. And we're very thankful to Mr. Murphy, former judge in the city of Baltimore. And this is my first book. This is 2015. The other book came out in 2021. I wrote I Am Black Wall Street to coincide with the 100th commemoration of the destruction of Tulsa's Black Wall Street. So the Ravens go up against the Saints for week 9. Wishing the Ravens well. Are you a Ravens fan? I sure am. But I got to tell you, I got to have a backup on the remote. I got to have something to go to in case they start doing that bizarre behavior, winning and then all of a sudden they losing. I can't take too much of that. I'm getting too old for it. Many thanks to Mr. Tyrone Taborn, Dr. Tyrone Taborn and his wife, Jean Hamilton. They have been big supporters of this network. Just got information yesterday about some plans that they have to further establish this show right here on STEM City USA. There it is right there, STEM City USA. Oh my goodness, I need some lotion. STEM City USA is Dr. Taborn's effort to close the digital divide, to end digital apartheid. As we know, when they went to virtual learning didn't mean anything to kids with computers who already have access to the internet. No big thing. They do it all the time. But in certain households where there's no computer, there might be a cell phone, but there's no computer. Might be a Game Boy, but there's no computer. And when you don't have a computer, you don't have access. Lauryn Hill said it best. In my travels all over the world, I've come to realize that what differentiates one child from another is not ability, but access. Access to education, access to opportunity, and access to love. So do support the efforts of STEM City USA. Also make yourself aware, if you're not, of the Black Engineer of the Year Awards. This comes again out of Dr. Taborn's shop, Black Engineer Magazine, Hispanic Engineer Magazine. They also do the Women in Technology Conference. But his latest project, besides the Black Crypto, for those who do not know, is STEM City USA. And it's the metaverse. Put the goggles on. You can do anything in there. Networking, business events, happy hours, what have you. They're doing it all. Mark Clark is probably one of the biggest proponents of the metaverse. You see him often with his goggles on and sword fighting or boxing. I put those goggles on, they're mind blowing. You get to see, you remember those things back in the day, the little red things, and you hit the button and picture would change. Well, the metaverse is that on steroids. So again, we're heading up to New York City. We do the Black Wall Street today up in Harlem. One of our honorees includes Miss Amber Anderson. We have not had a chance to recognize her. Don't tell I said this. But since our first Black Wall Street in New York, which was 11 years ago, she was one of our first honorees. And in this 11 years, she has gone from a model and an author, all the way to being a playwright, actress, director from Baltimore. For those that know Delegate Kurt Anderson, this is his daughter. And he first made us aware of her some time ago. We've been pushing her efforts ever since, particularly because she's a nice person. You'd be surprised what you can get with a little kindness. And here's a message for the men, Black, white, Jew, Gentile, Muslim, atheist, agnostic, whatever. Help those sisters. And help those sisters just because. Help women. I've heard countless stories of men in positions of power, authority, who try to use that position to push up on a woman. What a weak dude. What a weak man. She's not going to have any respect for you. She's going to hate you. No matter what might go down. If she ever thinks about it, she'll know that you are a rat. So make sure you enjoy yourself this weekend. Get out, try to do some outdoor activities. I've been doing some walking and some biking. Need to get into some swimming, back into some swimming. But take advantage of this weekend. We are already in it. This is the season where seasonal depression is the topic du jour. So be prepared for any sad moments. A lot of us, most of us, I would say, but a lot of us, I can't say most because I don't know most, but a lot of us have lost people. This is a new holiday. This is all new for a lot of people. Never lost their mama before, never lost their grandma, even the governor. He's in this boat. So one, we're dealing with the season of seasonal depression. Does not have to be depressing. But if you've lost someone and then the holidays come about, it can be a double whammy. and then you put too many martinis on top of that, ooh boy, you got some depression with some heavy depression on top of that. So the problem might be this big, but depending on how we deal with it, we can make it smaller by just keeping it simple. Drink some hot tea, have some conversation, express our thoughts. If we're sad, talk to a friend, talk to a therapist. Therapist is not a dirty word. I don't care what anybody tell you. Not having a therapist is crazy. Having a therapist who doesn't have a therapist is crazy, because therapy is nothing but dumping. And everybody needs to dump. Just watch where you're dumping. And the people being dumped on, they got to dump too. It's one thing to sit there and listen. You know, I often find myself listening to people's problems. There come a point where you got to cut that off and debrief yourself from somebody else's madness. You ever notice? I said this yesterday, said it last night on WEAA. You ever notice how some people stay in drama? Every time you see them, whoa, that didn't last long, did it? Every time you see them, something negative is going on. How the hell is this going to work? Every time you see them, something is going on, some kind of drama. Stay away from them kind of people. Every time, never got nothing good to say. Never. Do you know some people like that? You don't own a bike. Don't you love when people tell you about yourself? Hey, Pharaoh, Michael Haney said there's no bike in there that you step over every day. Actually, there's 3 of them in there, Michael Haney. Massage therapist. Yeah, Michael Haney, we gonna get you a male massage therapist. I wouldn't trust them women around. Good morning, Baltimore from Tampa. Hey, Tampa Bay. You know, I gotta share just a little bit. This is gonna be an abbreviated edition today. Again, I'm headed to New York. But I've shared, and I gotta share it again. A lot of people, I love you too, but you need therapy. A lot of people don't know how the first blacks got to Oklahoma. And that's why I wrote this book. See, there are already books on Tulsa's Black Wall Street. I wanted to find out how those people got there. Where did they come from? What prompted them to go there? And I can tell you one of the catalysts behind the blacks leaving or getting to Oklahoma was Andrew Jackson. And Andrew Jackson was the old version of Donald Trump. Andrew Jackson was all about making a reputation off of black people. And so he wanted all of the blacks and Indians out of Florida. You come here and take these people land, now you tell them you can't go there no more. The audacity of these people. And then they set up this so-called government with these so-called laws and rules. You know, the entire world knows that we are a sham. Is there really democracy? I mean, it's better, like Michael Haney said yesterday, it's better than some countries. Some countries you are killed for expressing yourself. Generally, that won't happen here in America unless you're Dr. Martin Luther King or Malcolm X or Medgar Evers. Oh, we didn't forget. We didn't forget about those diabolical people in this country who killed our leaders to try to silence the rest of us. But it ain't worked. And this younger generation, they really not tolerating it. They're not hearing none of that foolishness. Including some of our young white people. They don't like their racist parents. They don't like the racist thing their parents have done in this lifetime. I ain't talking about back then. I'm talking about right now. And they're rebelling. You see it everywhere. You have never seen commercials like today where so readily they will put a black woman and a white man in a commercial. And sometimes they even put a black man and a white woman in a commercial. Who was it? The lady from Star Trek. That was the first interracial kiss, I understand. Nicole and Captain Kirk. The first interracial kiss. And what was that, 60s? This country is slow to take off its shackles of racism. Racism is so stupid. Go back and check your DNA. You find out you got a little bit of everything in there, but you so-called white, you so-called this, you so-called black. And then there's intraracial racism, the racism within one's own race. I personally don't like the word. I don't like derogatory terms. You won't catch me using one. Not in broadcast, not on stage, not on TV, not on radio. In private conversations, cuss like a sailor. But I'm not going to use certain language in public because I'm not giving you permission to use it on me. Cuss words aside. I'm talking about those racial terms. We're not playing none of that. I remember on the Doni show, they proved to this white man that he had black blood. But he run around talking about the Klan. See how dumb that sounds? Racism is so stupid. Look at all the money America missed being racist. No, black people can't be racist. That's right, because we don't have the means to oppress others. Black people are racist to black people. We see it every day. Nobody wants to talk about it, but there was a paper bag test at Howard University and other universities. If you weren't lighted in that paper bag, you were not admitted to the party. Jack and Jills of America, similar thing, intraracial racism. Don't act like it ain't there. We have done some horrible things to each other. It's called Pedagogy of the Oppressed by Paulo Freire, where the oppressed take on the mentality and behavior of the oppressor. We're going to get rid of the white man. We're going to get rid of the white man. Okay, now who's going to be in charge? And how will they carry it? Because to me, a dictator is a dictator is a dictator. Gaddafi, they claim, was a dictator, but he held down North Africa. It went buck wild for a while after he was gone. And there are those of us here in the West who love Gaddafi. I remember when he offered Louis Farrakhan $10 million and the U.S. government told him he couldn't take that money. Well, they got crypto now, but Gaddafi gone. I remember the American government telling him, Louis Farrakhan, that he could not accept $10 million from Gaddafi. And this is something when it comes to our older leaders. When y'all gonna pass the damn ball? How long do you want to be the head black person in charge? Muslim, Christian, Jew, Hebrew, across the board. We don't pass the ball. Pass the ball. Let the young people in there. Give them some experience so they know how to make decisions. Don't make me call the names of these organizations, but these same cats, dude, you are great. You are in a rocking chair. You are fat. Give it up. Let somebody else, let one of them young people in there. You sit on the bench and coach. Let some of our young people get in there. But in terms of black people being racist in America, I mean, that's virtually impossible. we are 20% of the nation. The challenge is we are not organized enough. Organization. That's what the Jewish community, the Asian community, the Pakistani community, and others. That's the advantage. The Latinos, that's the advantage that they have. I wanted to tell you, by the way, bemorenews.com is now in multiple languages. You can read bemorenews.com. Did you know? Did you know? I mean, this new website is all of that and a bag of chips. But you can read it in not just English. Let me give you the rundown, and we are so proud of this. English, come on, Brandon. French, Deutsch, what's that? German, Italian, Russian, and Spanish. Que pasa? Bonjour, como se va? Buongiorno. All of that. Dobra utra. We have an international audience right here on this show. People from all over the world, various countries. Many thanks to Mr. Michael Haney. Y'all hear me leaning on him just about every day. Michael Haney is a wonderful patriarch to our network. We always ribbon him, but we really appreciate, especially the efforts he's accomplishing down in Florida. Every week he has a team of interns straight out of Florida. And that's a reminder to us all. Life is bigger than Baltimore. Go see some other parts of the world. You have the internet. You have LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube. I got people all over the world that I get to communicate with. I mean, most of them here, of course. But you can meet people from all over the world right on your computer. Are you? Are you promoting your products to them? I should ask. Take advantage of the resources that we have. We have more resources than we realize. So, again, we're headed up to New York City, abbreviated show today. Can't wait to get on the road. Let me say this to you. There's my man. Hey, Doug, why don't you come on in and plug your show, man? All the way from Oakland, California, Doug Blackshear. Now, Michael Haney is a big hitter here on the West Coast, but this cat right here, Doug Blackshear, oh my goodness. This man has a whole network on the West Coast. You know I ain't West Coast, I'm East Coast. And what I love about Doug brings on politicians. A man after my own heart. We have to engage. Doug is a reminder that we have to engage our elected officials. A lot of us don't even know them, let alone what they do. Did you know your state senator in the state of Maryland, there are 47 state districts. I'm in the 40th. What district are you in? And as soon as you find out what district you're in, did you know that your state senator and state delegates can give you scholarships or your children? Did you know that? Money. I had been getting one from my first days in college, thanks to Senator Troy Braley. How do you get in, Doug? Okay, so let me put an invite in. Art is the man. We call him Doug. I don't know who the hell Art is. Art. He told me Art is who he tells the white people that he is, but he tells black people he's Doug. He's code switching. Here's the code, Doug. Now, you would figure Doug's been on this network 2 years and that he would know how to get in. Well, like Michael Haney, Doug has a team of people, so Doug never really has to touch the computer. Yes, we need to engage our electors, not just at election time. Just so you know, early voting ended yesterday, Tuesday. I can't believe I was getting ready to get off and didn't even bang this home. Tuesday is election day. Georgia, Maryland. There are other places, but those are the two I'm focused on. Maryland, we're about to get a black governor. Georgia, they're trying to take your black U.S. senator and give you a Herschel Walker. They're trying to give you a Herschel Walker in Georgia. This man cannot write a complete sentence. And you're going to let this bumbling person into the Senate? Georgia, stand up. Over Raphael Warnock, a Morehouse man? You know I'm a Morehouse man, right? Yeah, vote. There's the link, Doug. You see the link? That's the link, Doug. Hit that link if you want to come in. We love you out here in the West. I have been to the West Coast before. Let me tell you something. I make noise about the transient homeless people in Baltimore who come through the neighborhood, not matching the majority demographics of the people in East and West Baltimore buying all the dope, coke, and crack in the world. We have nothing. Oh, he heard Jamal Bryant. Did y'all hear Jamal Bryant eviscerate the idiot? Jamal went in on him so hard. The thing went viral. And it was a layup. I mean, honestly, for Jamal, it wasn't difficult. It was a layup for Jamal. We don't need a walker. We need a runner. We don't need someone. More than that, Herschel's a hypocrite. You can't tell a woman what to do with her body. I mean, who thinks they can? And that's what this election is about across the board. Can you tell a woman what to do with her body? Because the Republicans are telling them what to do with their body. Now, the Republican women, I'm going to see how many of y'all got real courage or how many of you are just sheep. Oh, we're going to follow this dumb husband of mine. Well, you knocked yourself out, honey. I wouldn't let Herschel Walker take my dog across the street. Quandra Gaines. I thought y'all people were going to come in and join me. I thought y'all were going to give me a good send-off. Got the whole team on here, and none of them want to join in today. It's Open Friday. So for those who don't know, Quandra, who now goes by the alter ego term Q, does political cipher on Wednesdays. And she also does a gardening show on the weekends. Quandra has jumped right in, and she's been bitten by the media bug. She's bringing in people from all over the state of Maryland. Irvin Bernard Reed. No one's off limits. I had to tell her stop thinking that you can't get in touch with these people. And so we worked to get Quandra to contact these people herself. Give a person a fish they eat for a day. Teach a person to fish they eat for a lifetime. She's eating for a lifetime. Good morning. Good morning. Let's get out and vote. Last night on WEAA, I do a segment there every Thursday night with Mike Nice. We said this very thing. Get out there and vote. Like your lives depend on it. See, this is the election in between the presidential election. Presidential elections every 4 years. So when a person gets elected President Biden, this is halfway in. The midterm is two years halfway in. So we want to reelect him, of course. And the other elections across the country. Will blacks win the? Will Democrats win the Senate? Dominate the Senate? Will we maintain control that we have? And what are we doing with the control that we do have? Do we play nice guy too often? Republicans don't play nice guy. They get in there, they fight to win. Democrats are a little sluggish. The Democrats are a little sluggish when it comes to fighting. Can't be sluggish. You got to pop them. Slow you blow, just like a running back hitting a hole. That hole is only open for a brief moment. So let's see what Doug is doing right here. I think we in audio only. Doug, are you with us?
Yes, sir. I just woke up because I wanted to make sure that I gave homage to our leader, Mr. Donnie Glover. And audience, I'd like to share this with you. Under Donnie Glover's leadership, we are taking black media to a whole new level.
Woo-hoo!
Out here in California, specifically Northern California, we have earned the respect of local politicians, understanding that blackusa.news is the news before the fake white media news, because we report what's actually going on in our communities all across the world. And I'll be brief, Donnie, because you know I can talk.
I'm okay today. We have an open format.
Well,
only place I had to go is New York City.
Well, safe travels, my brother. And since I met you over a year and a half ago, Donnie, California is in the eye-opening state. And one of the things that we recognize here in California is that when people come here to our country, they have the understanding that we are liquor drinking, weed smoking, baggy pants, lazy people. And based on what you have done, Donnie, has opened the eyes to not only in the United States, but all across the world. But we are doctors, we are lawyers, we are business people, we are
Isn't
accountants.
that something, Doug? You and I know that we are doctors, lawyers, judges, but the rest of the world, by the time they get here, because of American racist media, they already have a stereotype. Even our African brothers. You wouldn't believe how many of our African brothers have said to me, "Oh my goodness, I do not understand what is wrong with the African American. They will not treat me as their brother."
Well, that's because we're portrayed as buffoons, and until we see,
like Herschel Walker,
that's a clear
classic example.
That's a clear classic example of what a buffoon is.
Yes.
So anyway, hey, thank you for allowing me on the show today. I apologize for not putting my picture up there, but
when's your show?
It is every Thursday from 4 to 6 p.m. in the Pacific Standard Time, 7 to 9 p.m. on the East Coast. And Donnie, I really appreciate you giving me the platform. We are going to take this to a whole new different level. So, audience, stay tuned.
Good deal. Thank you, Doug Blackshear, all the way from Oakland, California. Quandra, she's on Wednesdays, Political Cipher. She does the Guardian Show on Saturdays. Also, Mr. Michael Haney. Michael Haney comes on Sundays, 60 Minutes in Black America. Taz Mia, that's who I will see later today. Taz Mia does the Blackout Live from New York. And Taz Mia is my ride or die in New York City. We both worked on the Black Business Empowerment Commission with Mr. Walter Edwards, Regina Smith, and Zavilla Jackson. And we helped build a national network. And honestly, frankly, this network is merely a continuum, a part of a continuum, a carryover of the work that we did collectively there in New York City. This was before Eric Adams was mayor. This is when he was Brooklyn Borough president. because he came to one of our events, one of our opening events for the Black Business Empowerment Commission. And it's all about engaging our elected officials and having our elected officials hold these government agencies accountable. Black people make up 22% of New York. Black people make up 30% of Maryland. There are those of us who believe that we should be getting 22% or more of the contracts in New York City and 30% or more of the contracts here in the state of Maryland, period. And we should be getting contracts without having to deal with primes who don't really want to give us the damn work. They are the problem. We don't need these kinds of primes. If the primes, even developers, if the developers that are coming into Baltimore City are not making things better for Baltimore, do we really need them? It's a loaded question. But we as constituents, see, we get what we deserve. Did you get that? We get what we deserve. If we're not paying attention, if we're letting resources go out the back door, you know those resources going out the back door, resources that should be going to your community. There should be not just a new wreck, congratulations to the mayor, not just a new wreck in Cherry Hill. And big ups to Mayor Scott for finally making this happen. Considering the money that came in for Freddie Gray and all of these other Obama sent relief money. We never saw it in West Baltimore because the mayor at the time sent the money from Obama's stimulus downtown. Ain't nobody seen a dime. It doesn't go where it needs to go. And that's the arrogance of some of the white powers that be. Starve the black L, feed the white, starve the black butterfly, feed the white L. Even black leaders. If you got a black mayor and you don't have more black millionaires, then you don't really have a black mayor. If you have a black mayor and your schools suck and there are majority black people in those schools, do you really have a black mayor? Or you have a mayor who happens to be black? We have to be careful about that race game. Just do your damn job. And if you're a politician, keep your hands to yourself. I'm proud of Brandon Scott. They have not caught one sticky finger situation with him, considering what we have had in the past. Refreshing. I remember Mary Bubala. That's why she is no longer on 13 and now on Fox, because she raised a question about 3 black women mayor. Can a black woman be mad? That's essentially what Mary Bubala said. And I even had a black woman try to defend her. She's not a racist. Maybe she's not. But she said some racist things out of her mouth. And that's why she had to leave Channel 13, because Channel 13 has a long history of being a leader in the realm of media. Wiley Daniels, long before the current crop. Wiley Daniels. I remember Wiley Daniels, first black reporter in Baltimore. Edie House, Maria Broom, some of the first. We love seeing Edie House, Maria Broom. Supposed to be a 30-minute show, wasn't it? Funny how time flies when you're having fun. We have to pay attention. We have to listen to the buzzwords, people. And being on shows is one thing. Coming and making comments. We have to also go to the community association. And if there's not a community association, as was the case in Sandtown, then form one. And sometimes it might not be able to form as soon as you like. Stay at it. We've been having meetings in Sandtown for 7 years. It took 7 years for some synergy, for some gelling, for it all to come together. Nobody said it was going to be easy. Nobody said it would be fast. But we know if you stick to it, you stay at it, stay focused, keep good people around, get rid of the bad weeds, you can do anything. We have done anything. When you think about what African Americans have accomplished in the most racist of countries, we are an awesome people. There's not one industry, there's not one discipline that once we get in, we don't dominate. No matter what Karen says. Electrical engineering, industrial engineering, astronauts like Dr. Ronald E. McNair. We've done anything. And that's why we're so sick when somebody tries to hold us back. Oh, they're black. Should be honored. We laugh, we joke, but like my daddy say, ain't no okie doke. Give respect, you get respect. Give disrespect like Peter Francho, disrespect black people. Try to tell us that Al Hathaway speaks for us. You don't know us. But now you do. We may not always say something. Don't mean we're not watching. Like grandma. You think grandma asleep. You find out that you've been asleep. You don't know the full story. You don't know grandma's phone book. You don't know grandpa's phone book. Can't go get a willy-nilly fly-by-night and all of a sudden you represent black people. We don't know you. You can't come up here and represent us like a clown because we will dismiss you. Can't go around being a pedophile and think we don't know, a sexual predator. We know who you are. And the people who cover up for these people, the honorable soul, there ain't nothing honorable about these people. Despicable. Ain't never helped nobody. And every time you see them, they want their name up in lights. They should be locked up under a damn jail. Honorable. You're dishonorable. You disrespected our legacy. You're lucky we don't take you out. I think I said enough for today. Here's the promo for Mr. Michael Haney. Tune in to 60 Minutes in Black America this Sunday at 6 p.m. as we talk local and national politics. Special guest Robert DeShield. That's attorney Robert DeShield, Esquire. Beverly Cooper from Boston. Darren Muhammad. Talking election implications across the country. Now, if you bringing Darren on this network, you're asking him about his support for Dan Cox, I know. And Dan Cox is in the middle of getting eviscerated, pummeled, blown out the water. Love Darren. Darren and I went to Dunbar together. He was a star running back on the JV football team. I was just learning football, just putting the helmets on. Baseball was my sport. Pitcher, third base, catcher. So do tune in to 60 Minutes in Black America. Do check out STEM City USA. We have shows all day, every day. So much happening in there. And this is the creation of Dr. Tyrone Taborn. Thank you for all of his support. So one last thing. We will be having some type of end-of-year event for the general public. Stay tuned for details. More to come. Wish me well. Let's get a prayer in before the weekend starts and I get up out of here. Lord, thank you for another week. Thank you for allowing us to see this glorious day. Thank you for keeping all hurt, harm, and danger away from us. Bless everybody listening to this show. Everybody. God made all people. Sometimes humans get caught up in dumb stuff, small things that divide us. But the books say all have sinned and fall short of the glory of God. Bless us all to be worthy. And we promise, Lord, to give you all the praise and the glory. Bless us with traveling mercies. Bless those going through seasonal depression. Bless those who have lost loved ones and this is their first holiday without them. Amen. I believe this. As long as you call on your ancestors' names, they live. As long as you say their names, oh, yes, thank you for that. Oh, my goodness. Thank you for that reminder. Rennie Bass. I promise Mr. Rennie Bass is not Baltimore Cultural Arts, but that's close enough, Michael Haney. Downtown Cultural Arts Center tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. to 1. I'll be getting back from New York, so I might be running a little late. I'm not going to put that but so high. I don't know about 10 o'clock, but I'll probably be there. Now, 3 hours, let me tell you, y'all know I got attention deficit. I don't know about them to do the whole 3 hours, but I will be there. Well, Michael Haney, it would have been so much simpler if you just came on the damn show. You put up your own damn announcements. I'm out of here. That's Michael Haney for you. He's a bully. But do check out his show. It's a good show. Good morning, world.